Hello there, this is Jamie from randomizeuser.com with another game guide for the Long Dark. In this video we'll see how to climb Timberwolf Mountain on Voyageur difficulty, which is the standard medium level. This video is based on sandbox mode, but when story mode comes out I expect the method to climb the mountain will be the same, but getting to that stage in the first place will likely be different. Now, I'm going to assume you know the basics of the game and how to get to Timberwolf Mountain. If not, check out the guides on Steam and my other game guide videos. So making this video was my first time getting to the top, proving this is possible without tons of practice. I'm sure my advice could be more efficient, but this worked for me. Stage 1. Scavenging for supplies. Okay, so first, choose a starting point that isn't Timberwolf Mountain, so that you can reliably gather supplies without dying. And from a fresh character, this will likely take an hour or two. I chose to start in Coastal Highway, because it has loads of stuff to pillage and it doesn't take too long to get to Timberwolf Mountain via Pleasant Valley. So, before you get to Timberwolf, you should find the warmest clothing you can scavenge. Don't worry, you don't need to start crafting advanced gear out of bits of animal. A sewing kit and spare cloth to repair those clothes to make them as warm as possible. A rifle and rounds. Unless you're on Pilgrim, I strongly recommend this for the 2 or 3 places you can easily get attacked. A rifle cleaning kit is not essential, but cleaning your rifle is an excellent way of recuperating stamina while rock climbing, and it keeps your rifle in shape. Food and drink. Just take a few proper cans of food and a can opener, some coffee, and around 2 litres of potable water. We'll be picking up more food in boiling snow whilst actually climbing. A lantern. You'll need a fully fueled one for a fairly long cave. As a last resort, matches or flares will suffice. Stuff for fires. I ended up needing 1 overnight fire at the mountaineering hut before the climb, and 2 shorter fires later on. If you don't want to take armsfuls of wood to Timberwolf Mountain, take a hatchet instead. But I highly recommend accelerants to avoid frustration when lighting fires. A hacksaw for opening supply crates. In my experience, one usually spawns in the main hut in Timberwolf Mountain. You start with a bedroll, so don't drop it to save weight. You will need it. Stuff like medical equipment is optional. I didn't need any, although it could have gone either way with a wolf and a bear, so this is up to you. Stage 2. Timberwolf Preparation. So, go to Timberwolf Mountain and straight to the mountaineer's hut by the Crystal Lake. You'll need to recover from just getting here, so prepare to sleep overnight. This hut is not warm, so start a fire that will last the whole night. There's a lot of good wood already in the hut, and feel free to hatchet up a bit of furniture to get additional fuel, for now, and indeed later. In the morning, eat and drink your fill, and don't forget to use your sewing kit to repair your clothes as high as they'll go. Oh, and here's the state of my inventory when I did all this. It's not perfect, but hey, this is hindsight narration. Stage 3. The Climb. Right, so the route we're taking is crossing the valley, heading to the left of the wing crash site, and we're going to go down into Echo Ravine, past the engine crash site, and up the slope to reach a warm cave. We'll sleep overnight, then leave the cave and head to the first climbing rope. Then we'll pass through an area with wolves and bears, and make a quick camp to warm up and rest up a while. Then we'll head up to the second climbing rope and into a dark mining cave, where we'll sleep overnight again. We'll then traverse the mine to find the second exit, then find our way to the third rope. We'll climb it and reach the summit. There are in fact multiple options when heading up, but this route is safe, a reasonable length, has supplies en route, and good camping spots. There is a faster route where you cross the fallen tree over Echo Ravine instead of going down into it, but it misses out some supply spots. Okay, I'm going to shut up for a bit and let the footage show you the way. This is the engine crash site, and feel free to use your hacksaw and stock up. There should be lots of food here. There is a climbing rope here up, but it only cuts off a tiny corner of the route and will just tire us out. So instead, leave by the upward sloping path. So now you get to this cave, which will be warm and contain supplies. This is the time to sleep overnight and generally refuel. I found the cave and my clothes were warm enough that I didn't need a fire overnight, but I did need to make a short fire to warm up in the morning. A hot coffee sped the process up. Leave the cave by this exit and follow the footage. So, here's the first climbing rope. Make sure that you let your stamina restore fully. Your sleep will also mean that you're not too tired for this. Climb the rope straight to the top, there's no need to rest halfway. At the top, head across the landscape like this, although I did take a small diversion here, by mistake. To reach the top of another climbing rope, if you have a spare rope on the way back, you can go down here and take a bit of a shortcut. It goes down immediately to that cave we slept in. Anyway, ignore that and go this way, keeping left to hopefully avoid a wolf and a bear. There is another small pile of supplies here, by the way, but I didn't really find much that's really very useful for the climb. So as we get here, you'll risk coming across a wolf and a bear, so make sure that your rifle is actually out. Ignore the deer clearing and go left here. So by now you'll be rather cold and tired, so in the shelter of the rocks, set a fire that will last a few hours and sleep on your bedroll for that length of time. Make sure your tiredness bar is restored to more than 50% full. But, as you can see here, before I could sleep, I had to deal with the local wildlife. Then this bear started to investigate, so I had to, thin out the herd. You'll be pleased to know this is the only time when you're at high risk of an attack on this entire climb. But as we continue around here, do note that there is another wolf site fairly close to our route to the second rope. Here I got lucky and didn't see it. This second rope is not too difficult either. I walked up to the rope to let my stamina get up instead of running at it, and we're only 50% tired, so that's all fine. Climb up without pausing. So here's my status bar at the top. We're now very tired, but otherwise okay. So this area is called the Secluded Shelf. Have a look around and you'll easily find a cave entrance. Go inside. Once inside the cave, sleep overnight and replenish your food and drink. Clothing permitting, it should be warm enough to sleep without cooling down at all. The next day, it's time to go through the caverns with your lantern lit. I got a little lost here, it kinda loops round. But it turns out there's a knack. Find the corpse cavern from either direction of the loop. Standing in here, take the right-hand proper exit and go forwards until you meet this wall with a small hole. Crouch down, go through, then make your way through the caves as you see here. You might even find a spot of firewood en route. Right, so you're back on the mountain. You'll be pleased to know we're nearly there. Just keep going curving round to the right to find the third rope. Now this rope is longer than the others, so again let your stamina recover fully, then climb. Halfway up, stop climbing and look around for the ledge. Sit on the ledge and let your stamina recover, possibly by cleaning your rifle, or maybe harvesting any spare clothes. Just make sure that your stamina goes right the way back up to the top, then finish the climb. And hey, you're on the summit! Now I suggest, before anything else, set a fire going and rest for a couple of hours. Eat and drink. And only then will you be safe to explore the summit and the crashed plane. There are countless supplies up here, so your later descent down the mountain should be a breeze. If you found a spare rope at any point, there are several places going down where you can attach the rope for shortcuts, if you can find them. Oh yeah, and make sure you find the distress flare and fire off one or two things as you gaze into the valley. You've earned it! Okay, thanks very much for watching, and do check out more of my Long Dark videos. As well as the game guides, I did a short Let's Play series that explored the lower parts of Timberwolf Mountain when it first came out. And I also hope to do a series on the upcoming story mode in the full release. So push subscribe to get notified of when new videos happen, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.